All right, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a decent day. I was just checking out my boy Flashpoint Capital. If you guys want to give him a follow or go check him out, definitely do so. What's it? August 5th? I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm all over the place this morning. I mean, all over the place. There's a lot of work to do. I was thinking about not streaming today because there is a lot of work to do that I need, you know, just to get done. But how are you guys doing? What's up with this disaster? That's one way to classify it. No, I don't think it's a disaster. Let me go ahead and put everything that I need to put here. AMC Live, sure. Let's see, go subscribers only. Yeah, you got to do that. Can't have any of the FUD out there. Monetization's on. Hey, so 20. I should have went on a little bit earlier, but I really didn't have the time to do it. So I'm sorry. I was going to go on a lot earlier because the way things were moving, early in the morning from 4 a.m. all the way down to 28:57. It was just like, what in the world? Down 11% yesterday and down 1.7%. So it did have a little bit of a comeback towards the end of the day. That's good. That's really, really good. But obviously, it is pretty disastrous. Am I saying that right? Let me see if I have everything set up here. Make sure the audio's okay. Audio seems okay, just okay. Let's see. So, good morning. Good morning, AMC. Wait, good AMC. Morning, Matt. Bro, tell me you saw what Daddy Doge just did. They took crypto to space. Look at Twitter going crazy. I haven't checked out Twitter. I should probably check it out. I've seen some stuff about Elon Musk pop up, but I wasn't 100% sure. I was kind of focused on a lot of things AMC was doing. Any hashtags trending right now? Let's check if anything is trending. I guess I'll go with well, for me, it should have showed up, but I would imagine it would be in news, possibly. Should be in finance. Don't we have finance trending page? I don't see anything trending. They were going nuts. They would have been trending right now. Things for me, I don't see anything there either. No, I don't see anything. I mean, I could type in Doge. Let's see if, you know what, I'll just look up Elon. Interesting. All right, well. Yep, I missed a bunch already. Bye time, good morning. Matt, glad you're here. Good morning. There you are. Yeah, just 18 minutes. 18 minutes late. Or I guess 15 minutes late. Hope today is the day that Funko squeezes. Earnings after market should kill expectation. I don't know if Funko will squeeze, but it could have a massive increase. Good morning, everyone. Let's not just throw the word squeeze around because squeezing is a lot more difficult than what people think. Obviously, you can see what AMC is doing. It's going to come back to the previous ranges before it ends up getting to, where we want it to be. What's your prediction for AMC today? I mean, it's a little early for that, but we are seeing a little bit of a recovery. I was seeing that we could possibly see it, drop down a little bit more before we start seeing that increase maybe next week. I think this week is kind of shot. Hopefully we see something big. I mean, we can always see a 50% increase or 20, 50, 100% increase anytime because it could react at any point. So it's tough to say. What's up? Did you know AMC is going to 200? I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. Earnings play today for me, Funko and Zynga. Most rush earnings, Funko for sure should have upper fourth guidance. Daddy Doge is going crazy. Oh, Daddy Doge is going crazy. So if you just say that, or you put that on there, look at their Twitter. I checked. I checked it. Did you see comp? I'm loving the action. I didn't see comp yet. I literally just made. I haven't even looked into Coinbase. I think I have my Coinbase up. So let me see. Oh, I gotta sign in. That's perfect. Come on, just keep me signed in. What's your issue? Let me see what comp is doing. Is comp making a competitive move? You see what I did there? Yeah, it's up to 451. That's pretty good. That is pretty good, up to 451 from where it was. That's 24 hours. So it was down to in the week, it was down to 394. The lowest point, I guess, was 382 or something like that. Doesn't really give me the lowest point on here, but seeing it in the threes and now seeing it at 450 is really, really good. So it's still at a 75% sell versus 25% buy. I would like to see it lower so I can continue to buy more, but I only have two right now, 2.01, and that's sitting at about $900 worth. But I'm looking for that to increase a lot more. With only 5.4 million supply, it definitely shows a larger increase. So if I can see that down to 100, I'll be all for it, just because I'll be able to buy some more before it ends up skyrocketing. I know the potential. I just want to see it at its lows. I missed out on the lows previously because if we go back to a year, I missed out on some of these lows previously at $100 or so, and I missed out down here at 225. I ended up buying at 240. No, yeah, it might have been 280, and then buying at 3+. But I missed out on that, and I was hoping that we would see it drop down to about 100, but never made that move. So hopefully we have more downward movement or downward pressure in crypto in the future, because this is something that I'm holding on to for a while. Anyways, I'm missing a lot. Do you think I should wait until tomorrow to buy AMC if it drops a lot on Fridays? This is where it's tough, because you never really know it. When you have some of these drops that you're seeing, especially 11% yesterday, below 30, getting to a point of I guess it's not a strong point of resistance, but a point of resistance of 28. You don't really know exactly what could happen today. We could see more downward pressure. From what I understand, we could also fill a gap in 25 to 26. So we could see this fall down a little bit more, or we could see this, end up getting a lot of volume. Right now we're seeing 165. I'm dyslexic, so it seems that way. I don't think I actually am. 165,000 shares in Webull alone. I would imagine that total volume is around 300,000 shares, a little bit higher than what we've seen in the past. So we could be seeing some positive movement. The issue that we had yesterday is that we had a bunch of shorting going on with a lack of buying power. I want to see what's going on in Fintel real quick, just to see what the FINRA volume actually is. So for AMC, it looks like the FINRA volume wasn't really higher than some of these other days. It's around 38%. I would imagine maybe we've seen CBOE volume and some other volume actually come in pretty high. If you look at, if I unlock this, I'm sure CBOE volume will be somewhere around 10 million shorted shares. So looking at about 28 million shorted shares, we can look at that as a whole, because we had about 80 million total volume. So looking at that, that's missing about 30 million. Yeah, 30 million. I would imagine about 30% of that, which is like 10 million. So sitting around 28 million total shorted volume. I wish we had what we had in the past, but now that they split it out, I don't get the CBOE volume, and I don't get even whatever other volume gets included in here. So either way, I look at it as a point to where they were shorting a lot. We probably had some institutions that were pulling out of some positions just because of how much money they made. You're saying 425 volume. That's good. How do I become a member so I can talk when you turn that on? So if you go into the description, it should be the first link in the description. You'll be able to click that link and sign up. Now, if you have an iPhone or I think Apple products, you have to do it like on the web browser or something like that. You can't go into the app, the YouTube app. They make it difficult for you there. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a competitor or something. But you can sign up as a member there, but click that link in the description and you'll be able to become a member. It's such a great price now. But revisiting your point, it can go even lower today or tomorrow. Yeah. I'm also hoping for 100 more shares. I got in at 53 after selling and rebuying. Okay. Not a great entry price, but sure beats 26. So you ended up, I want to know the full details. I understand where you come from. You said selling and rebuying. Did you sell at 70 and then rebuy at 53? Is that what you ended up doing? And then now you're lowering that cost basis even more. That's good. That's good. The issue with that obviously is because you don't get to the absolute low. You feel like you're missing out on an opportunity if it does end up taking off out of nowhere. That's why selling and rebuying like total shares is kind of a bad way to do it. If you sell a portion of it and then rebuy at the low, you're good, right? So for me, if I when I sell like at, let's say $120, $200 or whatever, you sell a portion of it. If you sell 20 shares, 40 shares, you can take that out. And if that's FOMO buying and it's going against you, you can actually put that in a little bit lower. You're not taking out all your shares. You still have a lot of skin in the game. And then what you can do is you can actually increase your shares by buying in lower with the same dollars that you have. So, essentially you're helping out the ultimate squeeze after the FOMO buying period is over. So, I think that everybody should be finding a way to increase the amount of shares that they have without spending any more money. That would be phenomenal. However, don't try and time the market, because timing the market, especially something like this, is very difficult. It's extremely difficult to find the absolute low because you don't know where it is. You can say, oh, it can get to 25 or 26, but it can never get there. You know what I mean? Like today, it could go up to, 49 if they really wanted it to, or 50 or, $60. And then you're like, oh, wow, I missed an opportunity here. I tried to wait for the lowest point and I missed it, So you never want to take out everything. Even in a normal situation, you never want to take out everything. Where I'm at, Apes, let's get it today. So today, my brother's coming over here and I have my lyrics for the song. We still need to create the hook, actually write something down. We have like a gist, like the gist of the hook, but he needs to write his verse, which is going to be coming from more of like less of the investor perspective because he hasn't been investing. I'm talking to him about it and giving him an understanding of what's going to happen. He's getting an understanding of it, but he's going to come from like more of the customer, movie experience perspective. It should be really, really good. I like it. But my verse is straight flames. So get ready for it. How can I verify my shares I bought on Webull? You're talking about through Say Technologies? Matt, you're the only one who seems to understand selling some at the high, increasing shares at the lowest price is beneficial. Most other people lose shit when you suggest selling under any circumstances. Yeah, that's why I don't have as many viewers as some of them because, no offense, like you have to be all positive or else you get a bunch of negative comments. If it's like, oh, well, the FOMO buying stage is literally full of, ebbs and flows. When it comes to the the ultimate squeeze portion of it, when it gets above 400, 500, that's where you don't want to, make huge moves, because you make huge moves, then it starts to go against you. However, you are pulling out positions in a place to where it's a completely bullish market. There should be very little red candles that you see go through there. But in the FOMO buying stage, it's very easy and simple for you to understand. If you know it's going to come back no matter what, then all you have to do is just say, where are those peak points? Where do you believe those peak points are? Where do you see the resistance from? If it resisted multiple times, do you see it coming back from there? Well, all you can do is you end up seeing that. You take out 20 shares, you can put it under the low, and now you have 40 shares. So it's like, okay, like, it's very simple. But I know what you mean. I've suggested it in the past, and that's why people were like, oh, you don't know how to trade. You don't know the squeeze situation. I'm like, yes, I do. The squeeze hasn't happened yet. We haven't even hit FOMO buying yet. FOMO buying is the issue, is the part where you want to make all these moves in order to increase your shares. If you don't, then you're going to have the same amount of shares or less as you go up. I'm a little nervous kind of about earnings call / questionnaire. AA just had to say no to that dividend question with 30 million shares. Wait, he just has to say no to that dividend question with 30 million shares, and they're most likely gonna dump. That's the day volume work. No, so that's not the issue. That's not what we're doing with that position. The thing that we're doing with that is, it doesn't matter about the dividend. I mean, I care about them adding on a dividend, but obviously they would have to pay out a dividend just as much as the shorts would have to pay a dividend, right? And I don't know if they have to only publicly pay the dividend on the shares that are out there, that's in front of our faces, not the synthetic shares, the fake shorts, the naked shorts, all that stuff. I don't know if that's the case where they have to do that. But the questionnaire, the whole purpose of it is really to get a full count of the amount of people that are holding, and also get an average on the amount of shares that we're holding. So from what I've seen and what I've read in like Reddit articles, and also in Matt and Trey's video, I didn't watch the whole thing, just talking about who has already put their or verified their shares within that area, and you had majority of the people that have the most shares do that. And obviously I showed exactly what I'm showing, 900 shares, but then Matt and Trey probably can't show what they had, so they logged out and didn't end up doing that just because they don't want to show their shares there. But they did I'm sure they put their information in there and worked through that. But yeah, that's the whole purpose of Say Technologies, is to get a full count of the shares. I try to day trade it. I would like to see it drop like to 34, 37. Hood, what's happening with Hood? I know they were going crazy for a while, and I had an expectation of them pulling back at 60. They ended up pulling back at 85. It was freaking ridiculous. I mean, I didn't have that many shares to begin with. Trey showed his shares, Matt did not. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see the full video, so I wasn't sure if they both didn't or whatever. But yeah. And maybe it was an accident that he showed his shares. I mean, I figured, I was looking at it, I was like, why didn't he upvote? And I was like, oh, he's not logged in. And I was like, okay. And that was Matt that I was talking about. But anyways, yeah, it resisted yesterday at 85, which is absolutely crazy, because I thought it was going to be 60 and was going to pull back, because that's reasonable. But it ended up increasing to that level, and I was like, holy crap, 50% up yesterday. And that's on, 650 million, shares. Let's look at if they shorted some of these, because I know people were shorting this. And if they're shorting this, and that means that if they're shorting this at the same level, then that means that there's some sort of issue. I haven't checked what the volume was yesterday. Let's look at the volume first. Volume for yesterday was around 174 million shares, which is less activity compared to how much free float they have out there. We had about 80 million. So I guess if you're looking at it, it's still above what we would have with AMC. But let's see what the shorting volume is, just to compare it a little bit, just to have some sort of a comparison. Because we understand that 18.9 million short volume for AMC FINRA data, and that's about 38%. So let's see what they're looking at here. If I duplicate this and I type in hood, just as a comparison. I understand that we have other things that we have to go into in order to factor that in. Just as a comparison, they shorted 34.6 million short volume for FINRA alone, and that's out of 86 million short volume for FINRA. That's 40%. So they're shorting 40% of hood. That still ends up increasing 50%, but they shorted 39% or 38% of AMC, and that ends up decreasing by 11%. So obviously that's shorting, but then you also have some selling action that has to go in there, which I don't really know what the sell action was, but it just doesn't line up. It really doesn't line up, you know? All right. So Trey showed it. Yeah, that's what I like about you. Full transparency. Course never shows his positions. I think he has it's because his lawyer recommends it. So I don't think it's the point to where he just doesn't want to show it so that he, doesn't like show that he sold his position or anything, because he didn't sell his position. It's mainly just a lawyer thing. If you have a certain lawyer that's used to fighting certain fights the way that he does, or he or she does, and if they tell you don't show your shares, you don't show your shares. If you have a lawyer that says, oh, well, it's okay, I'm used to fighting these fights, these lawsuits, as people show their shares, their full transparency. So it depends on what lawyer you get. And I would imagine he had that lawyer that's like, don't show your shares. It's influencing people. Good morning, Matt and everybody. When Trey showed it, I was like, F you to the one saying he sold out. Yeah. I mean, there are so many people saying that, so it's okay. I mean, they can say it, but then when it gets to the point to where he's actually able to show how much he made off of the play, then that'll be good. I just hope that he changes his strategy a little bit from what I've seen in the past. He said he was going to sell everything on the way down. I just hope, he pulls bits and pieces out in the beginning and then finds a way to sell most of it on the way down, if that's his plan. But that's going to, when you have a lot of shares, and I think they do have a lot of shares, when you have a lot of shares, selling on the way down just decreases it a lot more, so much more. I don't think he would, to be honest. Matt is still a bit new to everything. What are you talking about? A solution, the checkmate move, start the squeeze. We need to talk. There's one thing I'm learning is how to day trade. One thing I'm gonna learn is how to day trade. Yeah, I mean, day trading is great once you actually get into let's call it the meat and potatoes of day trading. It's actually really, really great as long as you're consistently disciplined. If you're not disciplined, it ends up being a long road for you. And sometimes I'm not disciplined. Sometimes I'll look at it and go, I know that this play was supposed to work, and it goes against me, and I end up losing more than 20%. But eventually I'll end up accepting what I lost and going about my day. But you have to be disciplined, because you can do 5 trades in a day as long as you have 25,000 in your account. And you have a margin account, and you're not, you can use unsettled funds then. What you'll do is you'll make 5 trades in a day, and you may lose 3 of them. But if you win, 2 of them, you most likely double the amount that you wanted to make, right? You probably lost, let's say, $20 in the first 3 trades, not all together, but $20 each trade, so $60. But your profit, you were looking to gain $100. In your next trade, you gained $100. In the next trade, you gained $100 again. Well, now you just gained $140 out of 5 trades there, and now you gained you're on pace to gain $100 a day, right? So that's about $30,000 a year. That's great. But if you can make more than that, if you can find a way to If you're still looking for it to move $1 and you buy 1,000 shares of something, well, now you can gain a lot more, you know? So you can gain $1,000 a day, which would be really, really good. I bought 10 shares at $30.22. That's awesome. Daddy Doge is doing really well. If anybody wanted to check them out. Oh, like that's an actual crypto? I thought you were talking about Elon Musk. I haven't even looked at Daddy Doge. All right, yeah, you know what, guys? Let's see. Let's see if I could share this. Can I share this tweet? Copy link to tweet. All right. So, guys, first of all, I'm going to put in a link to a tweet that I had. First of all, follow me on Twitter if you're not following me on Twitter, right? Second of all, vote on my. Sorry, give me a second. Twitter and no. Sometimes I feel like I just can't type, but it's okay. There we go. Whoops. I don't know what the hell I did, but that's what's happening there. Give me a second. Pin that. How should one plan to sell on the way up during the mother of all short squeezes? Thinking price will plummet once it peaks. Yeah, so the way that you should do this is you should always have set targets, right? I've been trying to tell people about this, you know, the whole entire time, is that on the way down, it's going to be a crazy road to where it falls fast. I mean, once it opens, it's going to fall, and it's going to like what's called halt. And then it's going to fall, it's going to halt. It's going to fall, it's going to halt. You're going to have a very difficult road getting out of your position. Eventually, you'll get out, obviously, way higher than what you were, but you'll miss a lot of opportunity up at the top. Now, what I plan on doing for me, and I've talked about exit strategies all the time. I have like 3 videos on it so far, and I will continue to make it. What you should do is find different targets that you believe there will be a pullback from. Right, especially when it comes to FOMO buying, right? FOMO buying, you're going to see it go up to 70, come back to 30. You're going to see it go up to 120, come back to 80. You're going to see it go up to 240, come back to 150. So obviously you need to see those roads to where either you want to sell some at those points, sell maybe 20, depending on how many shares you have, 100, depending on how many shares you have. And then when it does pull back, maybe put 20 more back in there, 20 more shares back in there. You profited from a lot of it, and now you can put that money into anywhere else that you wanted, but you still added to those shares, and you're also adding to the comeback of that FOMO buying. Do you know what I mean? Of the retracement, basically. So what you should do is, after it does pass that FOMO buying stage of $500, or I guess $300 to $500, right? When you start seeing that influx of covering of shorts, then you're going to start to find different points to where you want to sell out, even though there's going to be a lot of bullish action, right? It's not going to be anywhere to where you see tons of pullbacks. It's going to be, it's gone, and you need to find different levels to where you want to get your positions out. So always have that written down and say, look, if it gets to this level, this is where I'm getting out, and stay firm on those. Don't get greedy, because if you get greedy, then you start losing out on the full opportunity. And if you're comfortable with how much you can make, once you have that written down, like, oh, if I sell 100 here, I make $100,000. If I sell 100 here, I make $200,000 or whatever that is. And you have to have that written down so you know exactly how much you plan to make. And if you make that much, you won out of it. Now, if you still have the opportunity to make a lot more, but when you make a certain amount that you're comfortable with, you're giving everybody else an opportunity to make a certain amount that they're comfortable with, or at least they didn't know that they're comfortable with. Do you know what I mean? So I think you're giving everybody else the opportunity. If somebody has 30,000 shares and sells at the peak, that's going to derail a lot of the things that that was going on at the peak, and also halted on the way down. Then the next whale that has 100,000 is selling, bringing that down, and then a combination of a bunch of whales that have over 300, 400,000 shares will probably end up tanking that a lot more. So just understand what could happen there. Good morning. We have 300 people in here, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Like I said, thank you for the super chat, by the way. In the pin to the chat, that's what I was looking for. Pin to the chat, I have my question on my Twitter. First, follow my Twitter if you can. I have about 700 followers. I would like to have 1,000, but follow my Twitter, and also upvote my question, because I really want that question answered. I want to know if they're going to change it to dine-in theaters. I can actually show you the question if you guys want to see it. But here it is. I basically said, is there a plan to upgrade all your theaters to dine-in theaters? And would you be into upgrading the business to include more technology, basically a dine-in theater app, to where you can order your food ahead of time, so you don't have to really deal with, servers. And I understand you have the servers that are bringing you the food, but you don't have to deal with taking orders and being in the way of the movie or anything like that, because I dealt with that at the movie tavern, and I feel like this is a better option. And if they upgraded everything to dine-in theaters, one, the movie theater near me would be a dine-in theater, so I wouldn't have to go anywhere else if I wanted to do dinner and a movie. And two, it's just a better type of experience. 90% of the day traders lose. You're going against HTFs and algos systems. It takes from someone who created the algos to trade it. Yeah, absolutely. That's why you need to be disciplined, because sometimes it goes against you, and when it goes against you, you need to accept that it went against you. There's a lot of day traders that will just not be disciplined. When you don't manage your risk and you're not disciplined, that's where you have an issue. And I see it all the time and time again. I see it with myself. I have an issue to where I don't accept the loss that I had, or I don't accept the gain that I did get. And you'll see a lot of times I'll accept the gain and I'm happy with that gain. I made money on costs. I made money on Fubo TV. I just made money on Robinhood, and I accepted my gain. Even though it showed more bullish activity during the day that I was looking at it, it was looking at a pullback from 50, I believe, or it might have been 40, 43. Yeah, it was looking at a pullback from it might have been 48. I don't really remember, but it was a high number, higher than what it was, and it was showing a pullback. So when it showed that pullback, I was like, okay, I need to get out of this position and accept my gain, because it can easily go against me, and it could have, but it obviously didn't. That's a whole lot of missed opportunity. But either way, I made $80 from, I think it's $70 to $80, somewhere in between there. I have to check it. But yeah, I made money off of Robinhood, and that's really what you want to do. And that was more of a swing trade, I guess. But a lot of the day trading, I usually buy 100 shares and look for that to move $1. That's pretty much it. It's the easiest way to think about it. So you're right. 90% of day traders, and I wouldn't say it's 90% of 90%. I would say you have a high percentage, but 85% of statistics are made up on the spot. So I would imagine it's not 90%. It's somewhere in the higher percentile. So maybe 75%, 80%, but I don't think it's 90% of day traders. But yeah, I have a solution. I just read that. What do you think of Cardano in the future? Do you think it will go current Ethereum prices? No, I don't think that. Cardano here, let's look at Cardano. Let's show you. I'm not going to go to my portfolio. I'm going to go to here just so I can show it. Cardano has 32 billion coins, right? When it gets to, or when it's at $1, right? And I know it's at $1.35. When it's at $1, that's 32 billion market supply or market cap. Now, when you multiply that by 3, so it gets to $3, that's going to be around a $90 billion market cap, a little bit more than that, $90 billion market cap. Now, we've only seen a few cryptocurrencies that have gotten to that point. If we're looking at it by market cap, there's only been a few. You know, Dogecoin has been there, XRP has been there. I don't really know of any other one that has been there. I think Cardano has been there once. But when it gets to those levels, you start to realize that, okay, what's the max that it can get to? Well, if it's at $3 and it's already at 100 or close to it, $100 billion market cap, well, you multiply that by 10, $30 is more of the level because Bitcoin's highest market cap, and you want to base it off of the highest point, Bitcoin or Ethereum, the market cap was at 1.2 trillion. So let's just say 1 trillion at best, or 1.2 trillion here. You could say $36 is the highest point that it can get to as of now until Bitcoin reaches a higher market cap than what we've seen, right? Which I believe they will. So ultimately, I think that Cardano can get to a high of 36. The point that I'm thinking that it's going to get to is somewhere around $10, $15, somewhere in the middle. And that's around Ethereum prices where you would see 300 billion. But if you've seen 500 billion, which is around where it was, 500 or 600 billion, where it was at $5,000 per coin, then you start looking at a higher number where you multiply that 3 by 5 and get around $15. So that's where I'm thinking we can get to. Cardano can't get that high. That's why a lot of people are buying so many. I have 500. I want to hold 1,000 so that when that does get to, higher levels of $10 or $15, you can definitely see that move. It's the problem of the supply. Supply is 32 billion. That's another reason why people like Anchor Coin, because Anchor Coin has about 7 billion, I believe. So yeah, it has about 7.7 billion, which means that every dollar that it gets to is around 7.7 billion supply, or market cap, which is basically nothing. You multiply that by 10, that's 70 billion. So obviously you can keep multiplying that by 10 and end up getting where a reasonable point is. So always base potential off of circulating supply and where the market cap can be, and also some of this data, popularity and typical hold time. But guys, yeah, definitely check out my tweet here and make sure you click on this and upvote my question, because I think this is a good question. I want to get it answered, but I don't know if it will, because you have not millions of questions. You have thousands of questions ahead of mine with millions of shares included. What do you think? I just read that. Good morning. Hey, I've tried to verify my AMC on Robinhood, and they say tech website doesn't show up. The shares, I linked it last night, and I got my Webull shares to show instantly. So you can actually link your Robinhood. I believe Robinhood uses Apex as well. So if you're looking to link Robinhood, you can actually link Robinhood through Apex, and then your Apex shares or everything will show up through Apex, if that makes sense. So if you were doing it the way that I said that you should do it, go through Apex clearing and with Webull, and then you got it to show up. Also include another account, but include your Robinhood account. So I think that'll work. My plan is to watch the RSI because it's obviously going to pull back a bit and then sell, since the bulls aren't being aggressive. Thoughts? No. I mean, when you talk about the peak point, so you're going to see it's going to look like the bulls are being very aggressive because of the fact that, funny thing is I'm a fan of the Chicago Bulls, but anyways, the bulls are being aggressive because of the amount of covering that's going on. And then all of a sudden it's going to cut, it's going to end, right? You're not going to see it happen anymore. When they start to cover, they're really going to start to cover literally everything, and it's going to skyrocket. this price where it is today and how many people that are holding, it makes no sense whatsoever. The movement that we have, the amount of people that are in it, and the amount of people that are even buying at this point, still should trump the amount that's being shorted. So we have some selling action that's going on. We know that, and people don't want to say it, but we do. But I would imagine it's very minimal. You have a lot of people that are still holding. You guys sell stocks? Yes. I'll never touch Hood. Never give that I closed and deleted my Robinhood account. Well, that's good. That's good. But I just know that if you're saying you'll never touch a position that can make you money, I'm sorry, that's not the way to go. I understand you don't want to support the company, but technically by you buying and selling, you're getting up to a certain point and creating negative activity, which does pull the price down. But if you let it go and just let people buy, then technically you're kind of supporting them in some way. So if you buy and make money, somebody on the other side is losing. It's really about buyers and sellers. If you want to make money, then make money in a position no matter what it is. They say you want to invest in things that you believe in. That's investing. When you want to trade, it doesn't matter what the hell's going on with that position. If it's going up, then you're making money from it. I don't care what they did to you, the next person, the next guy. I don't care. I don't care if they're going bankrupt in the next 2 years. If we're seeing some positive movement, I'm getting in there and making my move. And if it goes against me, I'm getting out with a small loss. If it goes with me, I'm gaining what I wanted to gain. Did you day trade Hood yesterday? I more swing traded it on the IPO day. I bought in at the low of 35 and ended up selling, I believe, at like 48. I'm not 100% sure the exact number, but I did end up selling the next day as it did increase. Hey man, I know Robinhood is usually crap, but recently I've been seeing more discrepancy between their stated market cap and AMC and GME versus the ones on others like Yahoo Finance. Any ideas? I don't believe they get as up-to-date data. I believe that's the case. I'm not 100% sure. With the discrepancy between their stated market cap. Yeah, it may just be an update issue with like market cap information. So a lot of times this is driven off of what the price action is doing. Sometimes this is static, so you won't see this update too much or too often when you see like Fidelity update every second, right? And then obviously crypto update every second. Hey, Cran, so I'm here to learn. If 80% of us apes own AMC, then why the hell is the stock dropping? I'm holding AMC regardless, by the way. Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. And I don't know if that's the true number where 80% is held. And I think Matt brought up a really good point in his video yesterday, talking about the fact that, shares can be, traded again and again and again. So people are always saying, oh, well, like you'll see them talk about fundamentals and how when you trade the 500 million shares here, you only have 500 million shares. So where are the other 500 million shares, or where are the other shares coming from when you're trading a billion in volume? Well, those shares can also be loaned out and used in other forms or fashions. And while you buy a stock, someone else that may be loaned out to someone else, which they end up selling it, and it can keep going down the chain. So you can actually have someone that technically owns one of those stock multiple times, right? So it's a little bit tricky to understand, but I think he brought up a really good point by saying that I'm a Houston Rockets fan, so I'm used to getting beat down. These hedges can't sway me buying 500 more today. Thanks for everything. No problem. Thank you for that super chat. That means a lot to me. Volume definitely, or the amount of viewers are definitely increasing today. So I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys could hit the like button, definitely do so. 341 people in here. If you guys can hit the like button, get it up to like 200, that would be great. But Houston Rockets aren't that bad. I mean, they're kind of getting worse because they lost pretty much like everyone. But yeah. It's nearly 10 billion difference for AMC. Though, so I was wondering if it's just a a slow updating or something else going on. So yeah, it has to be slow updating. So a lot of it is based off of the supply that's out there. So the amount of shares multiplied by the price. So if the price is dropping down significantly, it won't update until probably a little bit after. So that's understandable because right now AMC, where the price is and the share count, you're looking at a $14.9 billion market cap. That's a free float market cap. So today feels like it could be a bloodbath. I'll be circling like a shark, waiting to buy the blood in the streets. Do you think we still own 80%? I think we may have lost more paper hands than we wanted to believe. Yeah, I think, like I've been saying the whole entire time, I think it's between 70 and 80%. I don't think we lost a lot. I think there's still people that are holding because of, you know, streamers and, you know, people on Reddit and, you know, Twitter. Because we have the community. In the past, I would have said, you know, when people weren't using a lot of these, you know, communication avenues, that it would have dropped a lot more. But now that people are finding ways to reach out to other people, Discord groups, YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, you know, all these different places, I think, you know, you hold on to a lot of the people that are holding because of the fact that you have all these available. So that's what I'm thinking. I still don't know. That's what we're kind of trying to find out with this whole situation. Let me actually go here with this whole situation of trying to get these questions answered. So I don't even know if these questions will get answered. But yeah, so far I have 9 votes on this. So thank you guys for voting, for upvoting it with 10.7 thousand shares, which is great. That's amazing. But there are so many others that are on here, and it looks like what we're trying to do is get this above, you know, or show how many people are holding AMC just by answering on one question. We're looking at 46.7 million shares on this one question, and it's not literally just to answer this question. It's to get a count of the amount of people, the amount of votes, right, and the amount of shares, and then do some quick math. And then get that understanding of how many shares we're holding per person. And I understand that this is probably majority of the people that have a ton of shares, you know, maybe 500 or more, but then you have other people that have, you know, 30 shares, 100 shares that feel like it's not worth it, but it is worth it. I think you should get your information in there and upvote it. My brokers are not on the system. Yeah, that's another issue is if you're from like another country, it's difficult to get, like, your brokers aren't on the system, so you can't end up voting on that. So it does suck. Thank you, Stephanie, Jose, Team Hodl, for following me. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see what's going on here. So right now we're sitting at about 15.39% short interest of free float, which is 78.71 million shares. Flat Earth 420. Hey bro, what do you think about Trust Wallet coin? Seems to be heading up. I haven't looked into it. Is it something that's on Coin Market Cap? But I haven't looked into it. I don't know why they would make a Trust Wallet coin. Just stick with the Trust Wallet. I mean, that's just my opinion. Let's look at where we're at. I don't think it'll be on Coin Market Cap. It's probably something that's brand new. Yeah, I don't. Oh, maybe it is. Trust Wallet token. Well, Trust Wallet token is currently at 50 cents. I think with a total supply of 1 billion, that leaves a lot of room for it to grow. It's been around for, let's see how long. Since 2020, I guess July of 2020. So it has its history. It's been over $1 at one point. 1 billion tokens is basically nothing. It's something where I can't buy it on Coinbase, but we'll see the markets that you can buy it on. You can buy it on gate.io, which is a place that I do have it. You can buy it on PancakeSwap. Obviously, that's on Trust Wallet, which you can find that on Binance. You can buy it there. It does look interesting. Only 1 billion tokens is not a crazy amount. We're looking at things like Anchor that has 7.7. We're looking at things like Cardano that has 30 billion or so. Once you see the volume go up and you see this get added to other areas, I don't think it's bad. So right now, sitting at about 250 million, 250 million coins in supply. That's not bad at all. Usually when you see these type of tokens that are created, it's created with like 1 quadrillion tokens, and it's like, you expect it to get to crazy numbers? No, it's not. So it looks interesting. Let's add it to just a list to watch it. Oh, I haven't even logged in. I guess maybe I can't add it to this list. Let's see if I can. I don't know if it's in. I know it's not available to trade on Coinbase, but it might be. It might show up. Oops. So yeah, it's not tradable on Coinbase, but I will watch it just because if it does end up finding availability on Coinbase or gets there at some point, I will make a move. I could possibly make a move in Gate.io because I did buy some Pi token there, and it's not the Pi you're thinking of, but I did buy some Pi token there, and I have about 28,000 tokens, so I could make a move here if I wanted to, but we'll see how this plays out because it is at 50 cents. It was a little bit lower than yes, but we'll see. Looks interesting though. Not going to shoot it down. Let's see what GME is doing as well. GME is down 0.27%. AMC is currently down 2%, down to $29.20. It was down to $28.58. Did have a firm recovery after this consolidation here, and starting to consolidate somewhere around this $29 area, mid 29s. I'm going to go ahead and do members only. I appreciate everybody that did comment, that is a subscriber and all that stuff. I appreciate it, but it just makes it easier to get to like comments and stuff when it is members only. So if you guys want to become a member, it's only $1. Typically when we do have more viewers, I will go members only a little bit sooner. But usually I wait till about 400 concurrent viewers in order to do that, or I wait until we're about an hour in. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right. What I'm looking at are the FTDs. So over 28 million shares are due next week. Yeah, it's crazy. Good morning, Steve Martin. Thank you for being here. I hear a lot about hedges are bringing down the price to shake off people. Why not do the opposite? Raise the price to 400 and then drop back to 30. Why is it just dragging it down to create more risk? So the issue with that is if they end up letting this skyrocket and you see FOMO buying get to a certain level, if they get to $400, then they're losing a lot, right? Because no matter what, they're getting to a point to where they have to cover some literally every single day. So if they're covering things at $400, they're risking a lot, right? They're going to end up shorting it at higher points, which costs them more money to short it at that point, and to borrow the shares and all that stuff. And now you start to see that decrease, right? But it's not going to decrease as much because we have a lot of FOMO buying that's going on. And then you're going to see it get to a level to where it's like, all right, we can't afford this, or they can't afford this. And then they start covering everything because of the fact they can't afford where it's at. So it's, I guess it's a better strategy for them to do it this way. They understand what they're doing. They've been doing it for years. It's a better strategy for them to do it this way, to increase it, rapidly, very fast, and then see how many people they can shake off, and then start to do that over and over and over again, to try and shake people off and say, hey, this was a squeeze. $100 is a squeeze. You had a couple of people that were saying it's not going to get to $100. You had a lot of people saying it's not going to get to $200. So when you have those people saying that, then people will believe it, So that's where we stand. Wonder if I'm a member. You are a member. Oops. Always a pleasure. As soon as the ladder attacks on AMC start, it's all aboard. Shorts FOMO. Yeah. Also adding people to the selling and getting out. They keep finding shares to borrow no matter the cost. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm right there with you. All right. All right, guys. This was a good like 50 minutes so far. 54 minutes. I think it was really active. We had a lot of conversations going on. Mart, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Remember, it's only 99 cents to become a member and communicate and all that. And yeah, I make it that way so that we can all have and build this community. I have about 600, 700 members so far. And we can build this community to always have this every single morning, even after the squeeze. Woohoo, member status achieved. Thank you. I appreciate that. My paycheck dropped in this morning. So you're ready to buy. Is that what you're saying? I don't know what's going on here. I'm finding anybody that says AMC can't get to 200. Yeah, it definitely get to 200. 1,000 is the floor. Welcome to the new member. Yes. So Jackson Hunter on Twitter had a guest on his stream saying banks hold 89% of the losses in derivatives. How do you insure money over 250K? That's tough to say. I mean, if you put them in assets, then you're fine. Usually you're okay. I mean, it moves with the markets, but if you put them in assets, you're okay. The issue, I think, is when you have them in certain areas. So like, even if you have them in brokerage accounts, technically they're backed by banks, right? You have them in your bank, your credit union, or whatever. It's obviously a bank, and if it's backed by that, then you obviously have issues there. So I mean, you kind of just have to go with the flow. I mean, cash is king. So I'm not saying that you take everything out in cash, but if you have it in other investments, I think you're fine. You put it in real estate, I think you're okay. If you put it into crypto, you might be okay as well, but you might want to put it into something that is like very stable, which is extremely tough to find in cryptocurrency. Even if you put it into mutual funds or index funds, that's an issue. If you put it into bonds, maybe, I mean, that's not really something that moves ever. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we're kind of dealing with after the fact, is where do we put it? Because certain companies, banks, I don't think they're going to let any banks ever go bankrupt in any way, or any institutions really go bankrupt that hold a lot of shares in the market. So yeah, put it all into Funko Pops, not financial advice. I mean, sure. I bought 5 Black Panther Funko Pops. I have 7 Loki Pops up there, which are worth $3,000 or something like that, and I have Thor Pops that are worth about 500 or so. So yeah, I mean, technically they're going to increase in price. I do want one. There's 2 that I have, or that I want. I want one that's signed by Tom Hiddleston, and I want another one that is like, it only has 480 available, and it's like worth anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 right now. So that's always interesting. But yeah, I wish I didn't have the few. Wait, I didn't open the few Funkos I have. Yeah, I know. I keep telling my daughter, I keep telling Harper that she shouldn't open hers, but she can do whatever she wants. Rolando, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Let's see. Aims to be ready for red. It's finna be that easy. That's my personal floor. Any predictions for today? I wouldn't say so. I mean, it went against everything I said yesterday. I was optimistic. Anytime I'm optimistic, very optimistic or positive, this ends up uh, not increasing the way that I want it. It ends up decreasing quite a bit. So I'm not going to be optimistic. I'm going to say that it's going to pull back probably to a level of low 28, but actually increase. So I guess that's what I'm thinking here. We're going to see a level of low 28, mid to low 20. Yeah, you know what? Low 28s. And then it's going to end up increasing to resist at 29 before it breaks through. And then I don't know where it's going to go from there, but that's where I'm thinking. Let's hope for something big, but think that something slow is going to happen. Some slow movement back, some slow growth back is going to be what we look for. Sounds like you could get a lot of shares for them, Matt. I don't know. What was the wash sale? What is a wash sale? Fidelity told me some of my shares are considered a wash sale. So that means you may have bought. So if you bought let's say you bought a stock at $10 and then you sold it at $12. You sold everything at $12. Well, now if you buy back in at either 13 or you buy back in at 11, it's a wash sale. So it's going to give you. It's basically like you sold the position and then you bought back in. Or if you are looking to get a loss written off, let's say you had a $3,000 loss and you ended up selling that position, but then you bought back in. Well, now that's considered a wash sale. You also can't get that loss written off because you bought back into the position. So a wash sale can be good and bad, right? If you have, let's say if you have you gained $10,000 from it and then you sold everything, but then you bought back in at the low with more shares. Well, now that's a wash sale. What's your overall target, right? What's your overall, cost basis? So your cost basis once was $10, but you sold at a high, gaining $10,000 more dollars, right? And now you put it in at a lower point to where it's below your cost basis or below that point. Now your wash sale cost basis might be $8 or so. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to confuse it, but it did seem like there was a lot going on there. Because I've had a wash sale before. I've had plenty of wash sales in Fidelity. I've had a wash sale with AMC in the beginning because I sold some of it and put it in at the low, and my wash sale cost basis was a lot lower. A lot of crap that they don't need to survive. We are consumers and trash. We feel your mind. Christopher, thank you for becoming a member. It means a lot. I appreciate it. And looking at that stuff I own now and thinking just useless junk. Yeah. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Yes. AMC to 20s means average down opportunities. Yes, exactly. What's your loading up on shares price for AMC? Probably somewhere around $15. Loading up? Yeah, probably around $15. Because originally I took out my initial cost basis of I would need to get back to 1,200 shares. Which I can easily get back to now, but I want to get back to it with the same price or the same amount that I took out. So I took out my initial cost basis, which doesn't make me worry about anything that's going to happen to this. But if I see this get down to like $15, which I don't know if it will, that's where I'm going to load up and get a lot of it so that I can get back to at least 1,200, if not 1,500 shares, so that when I make those moves on the way up, I can pull out, 20 shares here or 100 shares there and be comfortable with what I would have as my cost basis or my initial investment that I would pull out there, because technically I would be putting all my initial investment back. And then if I have 1,500 shares, then I can, at $100, I can take out maybe 100 or 200 and have my initial cost basis while still having 1,300 shares left in there for the long haul or however long the squeeze ends up happening. So that would be my plan, but I don't know if it'll get to that low, and I'm comfortable with 900 shares and the fact that I'm able to put that $10,000, $10,000, $11,000 into cryptocurrency, because that's where it is. As you see, I have $11,000 into my Coinbase account. All of that came from the initial cost basis of, AMC, or the initial investment. Sorry. A little personal goal was just achieved, paid off all my credit cards. That's awesome. That's amazing. And that's the thing, is that you want to, a lot of times in a general market, you're going to make what, like 10% on your money. If you make 10% on your money, that's a great investment year. Obviously compounding that as well. But when you have debt out there, you have credit cards, especially credit cards, which are like 20% interest that you're paying. You want to pay those off first before you end up making those moves. Matt, stop bragging. Not bragging at all. I see the amount that Trey and Matt put into AMC and all that stuff, and I'm just like, I wish that I could put that much into there. I mean, it's not something that I'm comfortable with right now, because obviously we spend a little bit more money than we should. So I just, you know what, I'm not even going to get into that, because that's a level of bragging, so I'm not going to do that. But anyways, we spend a little bit too much money than we should. So anything that I'm comfortable with losing is in the markets, right? But then again, I have a lot in crypto to where I feel like I'm going to gain, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times what I actually own over there in due time, right? So that's why I'm trying to look at the stock market and see all of the gains that I have with AMC, which they are, decreasing. GME is well past that, right? Because I'm at 220 and it's right now at 145. So, or even less than that, actually. Let's go into the day chart. No, more than that, 146. So, yeah, so that's where that stands. What's up? What's going on? Flash, how you doing? Did you end your stream? So guys, make sure you go ahead and check out Flashpoint Capital. He's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be streaming every day or, do any type of streams. If you want to plug your channel, bro, go ahead. He talks about AMC, and as well, he's actually into investing. You did end your stream. Yeah, definitely go over there and, check out his channel, give him a subscribe, and you will be streaming daily. Okay, yeah, definitely go and check out his content. It was definitely interesting. Staying there for like, I was there for like 10 minutes. And the funny thing is, I was supposed to be streaming at 7 o'clock, and I got held up because I was watching the stream. I was actually pretty into it. I don't know who the other guy was, but he seemed to know his stuff. So, but yeah, definitely go and check out Flashpoint Capital's channel if you guys have a chance. He was doing a lot of like credit card content. If you guys have any credit card questions as well, he knows a lot about credit cards. I need Twitter to go, Twitter? Yeah, Twitter to go to 80 or 90 sometime soon. Just putting out into the universe. I feel like I'm like, I don't know, like blind at times. I can't see anything that subbed. Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, anybody else that's part of the community, you guys should always support anybody that's a part of the community. And he's been coming through and giving some great information, some great points here and there, and also has some other tips outside of just AMC, looking at other positions as well. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to him. Twitter. There you are. TWTR. I remember this was my first, I don't know why I'm not in this. This was my first investment into the stock market ever, and I lost money. It wasn't a bunch of money because I didn't put too much in there. But I remember when it was like $17, I think it was. That's when I invested into it. I can't remember exactly when that was, if it was ever at that point. I may be thinking about it completely wrong. Let's look at the max. Yeah, somewhere around, it's crazy. Yeah, 2015. I might have been 16. I thought I was in college when it was at 17 because I was in college in 2015. Maybe it was my bachelor's degree when I transferred, because I remember my first investment was in college. Or maybe I'm remembering it wrong and it actually, oh, you know what? I'm remembering it wrong. I bought in higher and it went down to 15 and I sold it. Yeah, I remember that. I held on to, they always said hold on to it for the long haul. And um, I ended up selling for a loss before it ended up increasing here, and then it ended up increasing a lot more, years after that. But I was pissed. They said hold on to it for the long haul, and I thought a year or some change, a couple of months was the long haul, but years they meant. And it got up to a level to where it surpassed where it once was. These highs of 74. It did surpass it, but it took however long in order to get to that point. So it's interesting. I don't know why I don't hold it right now. Maybe because it is at a high price. Yeah, sub to Flash, his channel, I think it's right there. Yeah, there you go. How can I not pay my credit card debt and still increase my credit score? I mean, there's a bunch of ways you can do that. You kind of need to pay your credit card debt. That's probably a high impact to your score, but he can explain that, I guess, if you're asking him. My first year of trading, I was basically flat. After lessons learned, sticking to a risk versus reward, accepting losses, and treating as a job, I've been doing great for years. And yeah, that's great. I would say my first year of investment, when I first made that investment of in Twitter, I I was buying other things, and I could say that I made money elsewhere. But that first investment, I lost money on, and it wasn't a lot of money. It was just something that I put, like I think 10 shares in there, and ended up losing, I don't know, a couple percentages of it, like 10%, 20%. I don't remember exactly what it was. I can't do math right now. But yeah, that was, I will always remember my first investment. I remember my first investment of cryptocurrency. First investment of cryptocurrency was actually Dogecoin. Did not go with anything else. It was Dogecoin, and Dogecoin funded all the rest of my cryptocurrency. I made $1,000 off of Dogecoin, pulled 500 out, put that into Ethereum and Litecoin, and that's what started the train. So thank Dogecoin for my crypto information that I give to people. We are seeing 29. We're at $29, and we hit a high of $29.89, which was positive, and now we're starting to see this pull back a little bit to $29.65 after this large increase. Are we going to see some consolidation, maybe a bull flag setup? That's possible. Zoom in on AMC, please. Right there. We see some pretty bullish movement from 29.09 to 29.89. Old school car maker set for bloodbath today with a 50% EV target said to be announced by White House. Actually, I was wondering, what, I might be missing it over to the left, but what Ride did yesterday. So Ride was down yesterday. I'm looking at this at the lows, and I'm like, this could possibly take off, but it could also go opposite direction. Tesla versus Lordstown Motors. Tesla's winning. No shit. Like, what do you think? They haven't even produced anything yet, right? I don't understand it. Going to be doing another live stream around 10:30 Central Time. Yeah, so if you guys want to go and check him out 10:30, see what he's got going on, go ahead and check him out. I'll be off of this in like 30 minutes, so you get more credit. You get more credit, lower debt to income ratio. Yes, you lower your utilization, is what they call it. You think Hood is being pumped to cause people to sell AMC and buy in? No, I just think I don't know what's going on with Hood because it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't line up. They have a high free float. They did have a lot of volume yesterday. It's just something that's an IPO. Anything that's an IPO, you're going to see some massive movement, whether it's to the downside or the upside. And I think a lot of people are buying into Robinhood, but you have mainly institutions that are buying into it and buying and holding. Typically with companies, you're going to see them with companies that have like some sort of IPO, you're going to see them get an influx of retail buyers, not institutional buyers. So it's a different story there. Might boost NIO and the rest of the EV sector. Maybe this is struggling though. Yeah, Trey said it could be a mini short squeeze. Ride? I don't. I mean, I wouldn't throw out short squeeze in any stock besides the ones that we're looking at, AMC and GME. I would throw out an increase. That's pretty much it. We're going to see an increase. Semiconductor sector is going to start popping off soon. Oh, I'll have to check into that. What is Hood doing now? Somebody's calling out Hood. We're seeing Hood increase. Are we seeing it fall? Or did we see some type of increase from 63? I think that was the case. Because it was at 63 recently. And you're seeing that come back. Because it in the after hours market got up to 71, went down to 60, and now is increasing to about 64. So the good thing about IPOs, and the reason why I do like them, is they're not fully predictable in where they could go, but definitely when it comes to day trading, they're great options to day trade because, and not like options, obviously. I'm talking about like they're great plays to day trade because you can go from 60 easily to 65 or 60 to 80 or whatever and end up making a decent amount of money from 100 shares or 1,000 shares, however much you end up buying. So it depends what you're looking at. But if you see nothing but negative movement, it could be a different story. So, yeah. I thought on Mavis was a laser beam company. I still don't know what they do. I tell you the truth, I don't know what they do either. I'm invested in them. Well, actually, Carl's Calls is invested in them, so Carl picked them. The last one, actually, Carl's portfolio is not doing so hot. It was up 14%, then was recently down 2%, and actually is down a little bit more now. So yeah. AMC is going up, yes. Oh. Right now it's flat. Well, it's sort of flat. At a high of 29.92, which is positive. So we can see it break over that 29.84 mark. That would be great to get to a positive. Yes, 29.86. There we go. Breaking through that level. Let's see if we can hold it and break through and get to 30. Maybe we don't see any pullback during the open. We just see nothing but an influx in volume. That would be great. Right now, we're seeing 535,000 shares worth of volume in Webull alone. So that means if we look at Fidelity, we might end up having a pretty decent day, looking at about a million plus shares, right? In the pre-market. And maybe, I don't even know why I did that. And maybe we could see, 1.5 million. You don't really know. So right now, let's look at what AMC is doing. Wow, my Roth IRA is down about 0.33%. That's not normal. So AMC, AMC currently at 1.15 million shares. That is not bad. That is a good pre-market. Do you have any shares in BlackBerry? I don't. No. I feel like I'm yelling at people with the all caps. Yes, you are. I thought they did stuff that relates to autonomous driving. I mean, I guess so. I think I saw that they've once again reduced the range of their sensor. 4 hours volume. Yeah, I have 1.15 million as of now. As of 8:34. Guys, we have 409 people in here. If you could hit the like button, that would be great. It does help out the channel quite a bit. I'm going to play an ad here. We are seeing a little bit of a pullback with AMC, which I guess is understandable after seeing this, oversold on the RSI, did pull back a little bit, but then, is still oversold at that point. And now you're seeing this pull back to the 15 moving average. Will it cross past the 15 moving average, or will it just touch? Because right now it's looking like we're just seeing a touch. Hood is increasing. Let's look at where GME is going, right? Because that's what we care about, GME and AMC. GME is down 0.27%, so not really a lot. It hasn't really moved too much in the last, I guess in the last day it has moved about $6, but it's not a lot compared to what we have seen with AMC percentage-wise. Good morning, Matt. Do you know when options will be available on Hood? That price can't be real. And I really want to buy puts. I don't know. Maybe we can look that up. Options. Sorry. Oh, it looks like options trading has already begun. So yeah, you can. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It says options trade. I see an article that says options trading has already begun. So maybe not for us. Robinhood stocks price jump as options trading begins. That's it? That's it? Oh, I gotta subscribe to read the full story. Well, I don't like you, Wall Street Journal. I think. Are you only allowed to buy options starting on the Robinhood app? Maybe it begins today. Oh yeah, see? Yeah, we got some options out. We got some options here. Yeah, so it looks like it's already available. Yeah, it looks like it's already available. Oops, I almost exited the live stream. Are you still holding your shares? Azam ain't doing so hot right now. Am I still holding my shares? Yeah, I still have 7,000 shares. I can show those. I don't know what that child is doing, but she's like yelling and stomping upstairs. So if you hear a child doing that, that's because she's doing that. Yeah, Zom isn't doing so hot. It's at 58 cents. And am I still holding my shares? Let me go ahead and show these. I just can't like keep them up on the screen. I still have 7,000 shares at 90 cents. So probably will be lowering that cost basis because 58 cents is a steal for me. And if I can lower that to a level to where, what is she doing? Is that Harper or is that Hayden? Sounds like she has a hammer. Did Erica give her a hammer? Hood option started yesterday. Yeah, so you can go ahead and get your options if you wanted to. But yeah, I'm still holding Zomedica at 7,000 shares at 90 cents, down quite a bit. But yeah. Order entry. Oh, okay. I thought I put in an order. I was gonna say, what? I didn't put in an order for 10 call options. I did not do that. I did not confirm nor deny that. No, I deny it. Your kids are just doing some remodeling upstairs. No biggie. Seems that way. Try and draw on the walls. Luckily, we have we don't have a matte paint on the wall. Erica wanted a matte paint. I was like, we have to get like eggshell. We have to be able to wash it off. Anyways, that's a whole different story. Let me go ahead and look at, keep GME up. Oh wait, actually let me look at SOS because I do have SOS as well. I haven't looked at that. That is down. Not as down as I thought it would be. I mean, I'm still holding 2,000 shares at basically $4. So where it is right now, I'm down quite a bit, and down about $2,000+. So not looking great for these positions. I haven't been as disciplined on Zomedica and SOS, which I should have. Seeing those increases to levels where I did believe they were going to pull back, I should have actually pulled out of those positions, but I just made a horrible decision. That's one of those decisions to where you're like, you should buy your kids a drum set. Yeah, I mean, I could. Harper was talking about the drums yesterday, which is funny because the other day she said she seen like a saxophone player and she was like, I want to play the saxophone. And I was like, do you now? So you want to play the piano, the saxophone, now you want some drums. He just wants to play everything. Give me that crayon. Take this hammer instead. Sounds like my upstairs neighbor always pounding on something. Something or someone. What am I? Wanted Matt paint on the wall. That's cute. Yeah, I see what you did there. We used to say that joke where she would be like, "No, I want Matt," and I'd be like, "I'm right here." But that's like a dad joke that I wouldn't say now because it doesn't really land well. Do you think AMC is up today or going down some more? I think I need to buy more at these discount prices. Do I think AMC is going up today? Eventually, yes. I think we'll see a little bit of a pullback. Basically, people thinking that we're going to see a bad day. The volume looks a lot better today. So I think we're going to see an increase. It's going to go to where it looks like it's going negative, but then it's going to increase quite a bit. And hopefully we see that just break way through 30 and go to like 33 or something, or 35 or whatever. I love saxes and pianos, but electric drums only in the house. Yeah. Any thoughts on WTII? Their machines their machines air turn into drinking water. Great tech, but pink sheet. I don't know any machine. That's a dehumidifier. I don't know if you if their machine's air turns into water. That's a dehumidifier. And what if it's close to a bathroom? Is it pulling out that water and then it has to filter out poop air into water? That's not good. That's all of those technologies that I've heard of. What do I think of it? We are seeing an increase in AMC here. Look at this influx in volume. Look at this. That's just a dehumidifier with a filter attached. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, it has 7 million in volume, but that's because the price is so low. Shares outstanding is only 145 million, but yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know if I believe in the company itself, but if you can print some money from it, I mean, you go ahead and do it. Doo-doo wada. Doo-doo paper. That's where's that from? Jeez, what movie is that from? Is that, oh, what movie is that from? Along Came Polly. Is that what that is? No, that's not it. No, something Sarah Marshall. I think that's what it is. In the UK, someone pitched that idea a few years ago. Yeah, there was something on Shark Tank, and that's not. It's not really the best. It's not a bad concept, but that doesn't sound very effective. Where it would be needed the most. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say here it will be needed the most. In places where there's less water, then yes. I mean, any water that's filtered would be good. If you can pull water out of dry air, that would be great. But a lot of times you're not getting water out of dry air and you can't get that filtered out. So if you can find a way to put that in places like, maybe parts of, other countries that don't have as much water or places that do have water, but just not enough, i.e. California. Um, I believe there was like a shortage of water over there. I don't remember. Maybe there was. Maybe there isn't. Um, but are we gonna short? Are we gonna short someday? Squeeze is soon. Need your moral support. Um, I don't know what that means. Are we gonna short someday? Yeah, we are. We did break 30 here. We're starting to pull back a little bit above. We're at 1% up. So I think we're going to, like I said, with my prediction, I think we're going to pull back a little bit. And then forgetting Sarah Marshall. There we go. Yeah, that's where they say doodle paper. You're throwing doodle paper at me? Doodle paper. That's like Erica's favorite part of that. She always has little bits and pieces of movies that she likes, and it's just so funny. Like in 40-Year-Old Virgin with Steve Carell, when he hangs up the phone, he goes, like that's like her favorite part of the movie. And I'm like, there's so many other funny parts, but she just likes like that response. I don't know, but it's what I love about her. But we'll bring the volume back to AMC. I mean, once you start seeing green days, that brings the volume back to AMC. So the issue is that we're not seeing a consistent green day. Like if we see an 11% day, it would turn that 11% day into a 20% day until they start shorting it a lot. But that's the thing is the inflow of volume depends on if we're seeing a green day or a red day. And it sucks because when you see the red day, there's a lot of buying opportunity. You're like, all right, well, in my opinion, it's great to buy right now. But you don't think like everybody else in the market because everybody else in the market is thinking the opposite way. Oh, I'll invest when I start seeing it green again. It's like, okay, well, then you missed a whole piece of opportunity down here from, let's say, 28 to 32. You missed all of that opportunity to get in and buy more shares. But you decided that you wanted to wait until it was absolutely green in order to get in. Abu Dhabi uses drones to make or make rain clouds or trigger rain clouds. Brilliant tech. That's interesting. Um, what do you think AMD will do today? AMD or AMC? Made a lot of money off of it yesterday. AMD is usually solid. I like AMD because it's just very solid. It's actually decreasing today, but it's usually solid in the movement. Let me look at the last 5 days. Yeah, AMD is usually the movement that we see with them, and I'm glad that it broke 100. I think we were waiting for that to break, and it broke it by a lot. 100 to 122, ended up decreasing a little bit. What do I think it's going to do today? You're probably going to see a little bit more of a pullback from what I understand. It looks like it pulled back and consolidated, but hey, you could see some continuation of that. It's so tough to get a full prediction on because the movement is so like solid for the past, a few months, right? So if you're looking at back uh from May, why couldn't I think of the number? From May, you're seeing some consistent movement, and then this aggressive movement, any aggressive movement you see like that, most likely you're going to see a little bit of a retracement. And by a little bit of a retracement, I mean there should be quite a bit down to some of those previous levels, and you may be looking at something like this. So let me look at Jesus. Let me look at am I looking at year to date or am I looking at a year? Let me look at 5 years. If you look at it back here, you're going to see that there were levels before that got up to 99 and resisted. So you could see a point to where it does pull back to about, that previous resistance and end up increasing from there. But it could be back on this line. You could be creating this trend line where it was looking to get back online here on schedule to increase at those levels, and you could see this skyrocket more. AMD is something that a lot of people like to be in just because of the consistent growth with the position. Matthew Perry's cough drops. I have a machine that warms that air again, direct to consumer. And then lower cash. I'm not trying to use tap water to make my coffee. Live in Philly and water sucks. Yeah, I hear you. Trigger rain clouds? Isn't that advice for General Butler? On the basis of General, yeah, isn't that also the basis of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? I come on lunch and half at work. I can buy more. I don't need food. I hear you. There's a lot of times I don't even eat during the day. Like I'll eat maybe a little bit of breakfast, but then after that, like I don't eat anything. Like Erica will come home all the time and she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can eat right now. I didn't eat lunch." And she always asks me the same questions. Why didn't you eat lunch? I don't know. I was just working. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is great. It is a great movie. Watched it a couple times. Has anyone else been looking for ways to cut expenses so they can buy more? I haven't really. I've been looking for ways to cut expenses so that I just have less expenses, because no way in hell did I ever think when I was a kid, or even when I first started working, that I would be making not bragging at all, but I would be making this much money and I would be spending as much money as I am. I mean, I never would have thought, because it came to a point to where I was like, when I was a kid and growing up with a single parent, my mom would be excited about getting $5,000 worth of income tax or $10,000 worth of income tax, and that was every year. And most months it was insanely less than that. And then now, I can basically look at that time with a multiplier and think about the fact that I'm spending way too much money. Geostorm, that's the General Butler movie. Terrible. I don't think it was that bad. Gerard Butler. Why I say General Butler? I like Gerard Butler. In the movies, what the hell are those movies called? Law Abiding Citizen. He's good in that movie. 300 too. Yes, 300 was an amazing movie. I don't know why I forgot about that. For some reason, I don't see Gerard Butler in that movie. I don't know. I just see that as a different person. Like I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. But I never put the two together. Like when I was watching that him and that, I can't think of any movie names right now. I was watching him and Jennifer Aniston in that one movie where he's the bounty hunter and he has to get his wife, but then all of that stuff. I'd never tied the two together for some reason. I'm sorry that I can't think of movies. 300 made his career. 300 was an amazing movie. And yes, it did. Did 300 come out before Law Abiding Citizen? This is Sparta kick motion. Apparently, that wasn't supposed to be in the movie. They were wondering how he was gonna. They were just gonna like drop his body in there, but he improvised that, and he said that everybody was shocked when he did it, and they kept it in the movie. And it's interesting. I thought that was a bit of information. Fun fact. All right, guys. So we have 425 people in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We have 6 minutes to this stream, and then we're gonna end it. And hopefully, AMC continues on this movement here, this upward trajectory. Clive Owen. I don't even know who that is. You confused Gerard Butler and Clive Owen? Who's Clive Owen? I don't see it. Is it Clive or Clive? I don't really see it. Like before you leave, people. Yes. Can we take a quick look at FVRR? That'd be a good day trading opportunity. Let's see. So the movement yesterday, I'll look at it from I guess 100,000 foot view and then zoom in. So the movement yesterday, we've seen an open price of 230, a high of 238, and a low of 182. So it went all the way down to, where is that today? Maybe it started. We'll look at that. Anyways, it's down to 182. It's down 20% in the after hours market. It looks like it just increased and then fell back. So let's look at some movement here. So yeah, it looks like most of the movement that we did see, 238, it opened at those levels, but really you're seeing that low point, which is the price right now at 182. I don't know why that's adjusting right now. That shouldn't be adjusting. It should have had a low price of 230, 230.60 or something. Yeah, it should have had that low price. So I don't know why it's adjusting as of the after hours market. That makes no sense to me, and the pre-market. But it did drop quite a bit after increasing. I guess actually it's still decreasing. So let's look at, I don't know if it's a day trading opportunity. I mean, it could be, and it's a high price to pay. So you would basically be spending a lot for subpar movement. Let me actually look at a month. It looks like it might have a great swing trading opportunity, but day trading opportunity, it might not be the best because one, it's a high price, so you can't really buy a lot of shares. You want something that's probably with under 100 typically, unless it's something like Tesla that can move $60 in a day. From what we've seen $100 in a day, but this doesn't look like it can move that much. It's going to be $200+ where you can only buy probably 10, 20 shares, end up getting an increase of maybe $10 if you pick the right moment, because you can see some of these movements from 238 up to 250, right? You can see some pretty decent movement here, but a lot of them were downhill, and from what's happening in the pre-market, it looks like it could be set up for something nice. So if you're looking for a recovery from where it's at, then definitely look for that. But we are seeing it create lower highs and lower lows, which is never really a great thing. You meant swing trade. Yes, it does look like a great swing trade because some of these lows, it's breaking lower than 198, currently at 169, or sorry, at that low of 169, currently at 182. So that's not a bad option to play. Let's look at maybe a 3-month look. a 3-month look, we see where the high points have gotten to of 338. It does look like a decent swing trade from these lower points and gaining a decent amount on the way up. However, it may still be on the way down because it broke through this level of support here. This level of 196-ish, 197-ish. You're seeing that level of support. It broke through that very easily, and now it's getting to a level where you believe 150 might be a mark to where it could get to and then increase from there. So I probably would hold off. In my opinion, I would hold off because you don't know where this is going and why it did decrease that much. I haven't looked into the news, but that's my opinion. So AMC currently at $30.33. It's up 1.7%, which is not bad. It's good to be able to see some positive movement after being down quite a bit early this morning. You also are seeing GME that's up 0.48%, up to $147.50. Looks really, really good. But yeah, that's where we stand with that. I think we're headed for a good day. I think it's going to be really good. Let me lock this up, but I think it's going to be a really good day. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, before you leave, go to my Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and vote for my question. I really want that question to get answered, and I feel like nobody has answered that question, or nobody has asked that question. I went through everything on the top list with millions of shares. So if we have 300 people that have shares in AMC, or 400 people that have shares in AMC, go and upvote my question. It's linked in the chat. It's also linked on my Twitter. It's the last thing that I post on my Twitter, and I believe it has like 9 votes or something. So definitely go over there and do that. Support my question, and also support the cause and vote for that Timothy B's question, so we can see how many shares are actually out there. But we're going to keep pushing that until we can get to a level to where we understand exactly how many, I guess, US shares are out there. We can't really get an understanding of how many, shares are out there from, other countries. So sorry that we can't do that. But yeah, definitely go and check that out. And if you're having trouble with Webull, check out my video that I just created, the last video that I created yesterday. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also check out some of my other channels. You will have other things that are coming up as well on the MP Shorts and the Matt Reacts channel. Also, I think the options video is coming very soon. I just finished editing it, and I'm sending it over to Brad to check it out to see if he approves of it. But it's more of a conversation. I'm uploading it on the Perry Experience. So if you guys want to check out that options video where we have a full discussion on what options are, and maybe we can have him on. He's looking to create a channel now, and I don't know if he's gonna like consistently upload every day or upload once a week or twice a week. Definitely check it out. But that's it, guys. Again, thank you for watching. I neglected to address Twitch. So I will address you after this. I don't even know how many people are watching right now. I'm sorry. But all the people that are on YouTube, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.